What's up, guys? We are back with new bow season. This is actually one of the first new bows of the year that we've received. This is from PSE. It's called the Altera. Really cool bow at a very cool price. This bow retails for like $6.99. It's got some new features. It's kind of an upgrade from the Drive NXT from last year, which I was a big fan of. And honestly, it shoots so well that they might have outdone themselves, because there's going to be a lot of people that shoot this and shoot one of their flagship bows and go, well, why would I spend an extra $400 when, you know, this $700 bow shoots this sweet? But before we get into all the specs and all that, I want to mention something about our Black Friday sale that's going to be happening the day after Thanksgiving. So, you know, when I was growing up, it was just Black Friday. Like, there was Black Friday, and if you didn't get your stuff on Friday, tough luck. It seems like it's been extending. Like, now there's Cyber Monday and, you know, something after that. We're going to go all the way and take it for 2 full weeks, starting on Black Friday. It's going to be 20% off the entire site. So everything in the store, 20% off for 2 weeks. That's hats, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, all sorts of stuff. We're also going to be launching some limited merch soon. So some holiday specific stuff, some stuff for your wife and girlfriend, you know, limited runs of some new logos and whatnot. So lots of cool stuff coming to the website. And again, that's 20% off for 2 weeks starting Black Friday. You really can't afford not to buy something. You can get all your Christmas shopping done for the archers in your life in one click. So head on over to InsideOutPrecision.com on Black Friday. Check that out. We will not be doing a sale this large until the same time next year. So we might have a couple, you know, 1 or 2 day sales here and there on like some hats or mugs or whatever. But this is literally anything on the website is 20% off starting Black Friday. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to reviewing this bow. So this is the PSE Altera. Really cool bow. So we'll go into the specs first. So this bow is 33 inches axle to axle. It has a 7-inch brace height, which is a really good forgiving brace height. It IBOs still at 330, which is really good speed for a bow that has that much of a brace height. The other thing that I love about this is it'll go from 26.5 inches all the way out to 32 inches. So it's really hard to find a mid price point bow that will go past like 30 or 30.5 inches. We get guys all the time that are, you know, 6'3", 6'4". They don't want to spend the money on a flagship bow. You know, they're just getting into the sport, and it's so hard to find a bow that will fit them. This bow will most likely fit them at 32 inches. It doesn't have adjustable let off, but it comes with 80%, which I think is perfect. That's what I shoot my EVL at, is 80%, even though it can go 85 or 90. And they made a couple upgrades from last year on the Drive NXT. One of those is that they went with a roller guard here on the cable guard instead of just the classic cable slide. What that's going to do is keeps everything real smooth. You know, those cable slides, especially after they get kind of gunked up or they get dusty when you're hunting and stuff, they can kind of chatter when you draw the bow. And then they obviously wear on the serving on your cables a lot worse. So they upgraded to the roller guard on here. It's got a little bit different configuration. It looks similar to the NXT, but they didn't lay the limbs back as far, so these limbs are a little bit less parallel than on the NXT, which I really like the way the NXT shot. I think this bow, it's just got a little bit different feel. Like having that limb angle change kind of changes that grip pressure a little bit, and I think it's a really good feeling bow. The cam system is pretty much the same. It's still that ZF cam system. It does have the same ability to tune with this like woven yoke system here. Now I have found that when tuning these, because I get a ton of questions on how to tune PSEs, so you can use these yokes to tune much like you would on, say, like a Hoyt or, you know, the older Bowtex or something, by putting, like, let's say I'm getting a tail right tear, you know, I can put a turn in this yoke and a turn in this yoke. But it really only works for small tears. Like if I'm, you know, 3/8 of an inch or under, then I can use the yokes. I still think using the shims, so they're kind of hard to see in there, but there's like 3 or 4 washers on this side and 1 on this side. It's a little more time consuming, but I've noticed that, you know, if you can swap those shims and basically use them like Matthews has their top hat system, the bow seems to stay in tune better that way. If you put like 3 or 4 turns in one of these yokes, even though, let's see if you can see in there, even though it's woven through like that, that little plastic piece will still move over time and the bow will come out of tune. Whereas if I just move that cam back and forth, it's not changing the angle of this little yoke at all. It's just putting a different load on that cam and limb. So they are a little more time consuming to tune that way, but I think they stay in tune better that way. They got a few different color options. This is like that stone gray. You can get them in camo. I can't remember all the camos that they have. I think they do Kuyu, mossy oak. They might do Cryptek. I can't remember which ones they do. It's super new. But yeah, awesome bow for the money. I mean, I think PSE's building some of the best, budget bows or kind of mid-range price point bows on the market right now. I love the Drive NXT. That Embark shoot's really sweet, and this is just the next step up in the lineup. So still has the rubber grip on here, which is a little bit wide for my taste. Super easy to take off though. You just remove these little set screws, it'll pop right off. You can wrap it with like a tennis racket grip and good to go. It does not have the multiple stabilizer locations like their flagship bows do. And it does not have a spot for a lower mount for like a back bar. But you can still run a back bar on this just off the front here, like they've done forever. So really cool bow. I'm excited to see what it does through paper. PSE is always one of the only companies that seems to actually live up to the IBO specs. So we're gonna do 30 inches at 70 pounds. I've got arrows ranging from 511 grains down to 360 grains. That's the lightest arrow I could find that was like safe to shoot out of this. So almost to IBO specs. And then we're gonna do those same arrows at 28 inches. Keep in mind, I am left-handed. This bow is right-handed, so I'm gonna look kind of stupid drawing it. It's probably gonna look a lot harder to draw than it is. I actually did shoot this bow left-handed earlier. Like it's right-handed, but I just shot it left-handed. And I was really impressed with it. It aims really well. It's light. It's not a heavy bow. I think they don't say the mass weight on here, but it can't be more than like 4.2 pounds. So really nice and light for those of you who are packing it around in the woods. So anyway, I got the chrono set up behind me here. I'm gonna go get the arrows and then we're gonna, I need to set the draw length on this. I think it's maxed out right now. So I'm gonna set it to 30 inches. I already weighed it. It's at 70.2 pounds. And yeah, we'll shoot some arrows through the chrono here. Okay, so again, right-handed, gonna look stupid, but we're gonna do, this first arrow is 511 grains. This is 70 pounds, 30 inches. I mean, it draws smooth. It's got a really good back wall. 272. That's good speed. That's really good speed. All right, this arrow is, what is this arrow? 479 grains, so call it 480. $283. So that'd be like a very common weight for a hunting arrow, especially out west here, somewhere in that 480, to 500. This next arrow is 445. This is actually one of my arrows that I set up for the Total Archery Challenge. So again, pretty common hunting weight. $288. So not much of a jump there. I mean, 5 feet a second. This arrow is 419. So getting on the lighter side. Oh. Everything's backwards. $296, so pushing that 3 mark. And then this is a 362 grain arrow. IBO has done it 350. I literally couldn't find an arrow that was 350 grains that wasn't like a 600 spine. So this is the best I could do. This is just a gold tip, Hunter 340. I'm expecting pretty good speed out of this one. Yeah, 311. So, when it comes to making IBO speed, that's done with nothing on the string. There's no loop, there's no peep. no string dampeners, and then again, a 350 grain arrow. That's really hard to do. I'm gonna guess this bow probably, it's rated at 330. I'm gonna guess it realistically it'd probably be in like, you know, mid 320s in those specs. But still, I mean, it was efficient with a heavy arrow, 511 grains at 272. You know, with a fixed blade broadhead, I like my arrow speed somewhere in that 275 to like 290 range. I think when you get over that, things start getting kind of squirrely. So you could throw a heavy arrow, you know, still at 272 feet a second. That's definitely not slow. And then obviously, you know, a 480 in 280s, that's awesome. So I'm gonna get this set up at 28, and we're gonna run those same arrows and see what kind of speeds we get. All right, got it set to 28. Again, we're gonna start with the heavy guys. This is 511 grains. I should mention this bow, you don't have to get it in the 70-pound peak weight. You can get this in a 50, 60, or 70, and then you can take 13 full turns out of the limb bolt. So you can back this thing down probably like close to 20 pounds. So if you're a newer shooter and get a 60-pound bow, you know, you can start it down around 40, 38, 40 pounds and work your way up. So definitely cool that they offer it in the, you know, a 50-pound peak weight for those, you know, maybe you're a younger person or you're a gal who wants to shoot this bow. You know, you don't have to get a 70-pound bow and back it off as far as you can to get it to 50 pounds. All right, 28 inches, 511 grains. Oh, that's easier at 28. 253, which is pretty much exactly what I would expect. It's usually about 10 feet per second per inch of draw length. So that's almost exactly 20 feet a second slower, and it's 2 inches shorter. So this is a 480. Got a really nice back wall to it. It's quiet. 261. So here's the 445 grain arrow, which at a 28 inch draw length, this is gonna be, you know, you're probably gonna be shooting a 340 spine if you're shooting 70 pounds. This is gonna be like a really common weight, somewhere in that, you know, 440 to 460 range. .266. So it's interesting because both times the jump from 480 to 445 has only increased like, you know, 5 feet a second. Okay, this arrow is 419. And I know my form looks like crap right-handed. I'm not worried about that right now. I don't care if I'm punching the trigger. This is this is just to get an arrow through the chrono. All right, 419. 275. And last but not least, the Speed Demon, 362 grain gold tip. .294. So, you know, if you were shooting like 3D or something, that's really good speed for 28 inch draw length and you had a light arrow like that. So I'm impressed with those numbers. It's pretty much right on par with like what the Drive shot. Like I said, they have really similar specs, but I do think that they made some cool upgrades with, you know, with the roller guard, a little bit different limb angle. This bow is smooth in the hand, like there's no jump to it. You know, it's got a little bit of vibration, but this also has no string dampeners or anything on it. So you throw some monkey tails or some string dampeners on there, it's gonna quiet that down even more and make it just that much smoother. Definitely would recommend getting over to your PSE dealer and shooting one of these. You know, if you're looking for a bow that's gonna shoot, I mean, damn near as well as any of the flagships, but you're gonna save, you know, you don't wanna spend an arm and a leg, this would be one I'd seriously be looking at. So go check it out at PSE. Remember about that Black Friday sale, 20% off site-wide for 2 full weeks. I feel like nobody's ever done that before, but we're doing it. We're real mavericks, groundbreaking pioneers of the industry. So yeah, InsideOutPrecision.com. Head over there Black Friday, get yourself some merch. Until next time, remember precision is a decision. Keep them in the middle, and I'll see you on the range.